Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Going the Distance. This is a milestone episode. This is episode 50. So I want to take this time to thank all the people all the subscribers who are just joining me for the first time. And I want to welcome back the members who've been joining me from the beginning. Back in January, I would have never thought it'd be so popular this fast. So I want to thank everybody all my subscribers so far for getting the word out and helping me grow this channel, helping me grow this community, because I couldn't do it without you guys. I can do so much. I can give you guys the sports news and everything, and then it's you guys who are going out there helping me grow this. So I greatly appreciate it. And as always, before the video gets started, and I'll come back to it after the video, hit the like button on this video. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already and it's your first time. And hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and hit the thumbs up. So let's jump into it. We got some football news. We got some Football Hall of Fame news. We got some scores, some predictions, and then I got some music news to go over. So let's jump into it. So first off, let's talk about the New York Jets. And as everybody knows, Aaron Rodgers is the head quarterback of the Jets. He played for Green Bay for 18 seasons, and now he's been with the Jets for 2. This is his second season. Well, the owner has said that the Jets are ready to move on from Aaron Rodgers. Now, in one of my last videos, I said I made the comment that Aaron Rodgers has turned into the new Brett Favre, and I wholeheartedly believe that. But there's one other piece that he needs to do to complete this Brett Favre sweep, and that's go from Green Bay to the Jets, which they've already done, and now Aaron needs to go to Minnesota. And this all ties in because this week the Jets owner came out and said, like I said, ready to move on from Aaron. And they were ready to bench Aaron in week 4. Now, that's weird, but not weird, but that's interesting because Aaron Rodgers has the same numbers with the Jets this season that the Jets and Zach Wilson had last season. So, I mean, it's just something with the Jets, I think. But I believe that Aaron will move on. In fact, in my opinion, Aaron needs to just go ahead and retire and just move on to something else, whether that's an ESPN job, whether that's a CBS job, NBC job, commentator, whatever it is. He can go off and do his mushroom thing for all anybody cares. But it's just time for him to retire. But even though I think that, he's probably not going to do that. I think there's still one more stop he's going to make, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he doesn't sign with Minnesota next year to complete the Brett Favre sweep. So, I mean, the Jets have a game this week we'll get into, and I'll give my predictions for. But the Jets are out of playoff contention, and Aaron's just washed up. So, we'll see where he goes after this. Okay, so now we're going to move on to talk about the New York Giants. And as the subscribers have seen, I've been doing shorts throughout the week to give news throughout the week, so I don't have bam, 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 bam breaking news. Well, one of the shorts that I did was about Daniel Jones and them benching him for this week's game, which I think is a smart idea. He's been okay, but he hadn't been great in the past couple seasons. In fact, I'm surprised he kept the job as long as he did. But here's the kicker. He didn't just move to backup second string. He's now third string quarterback, and he's working out as a safety for this week. So we might see safety Daniel Jones this week as for the Giants. And as a side note, Brian Daboll, the coach, is coaching for his job for the rest of the season because they've had such terrible seasons this season and last season that I'm surprised he's lasted 3 seasons. But they don't have anybody else to get. And Daybell, they thought, was the answer because he came from Buffalo, and they thought everything was going to be good because he's a Buffalo person. So I don't think. Who are they going to get? I mean, there's talks No, I was going to say there's talk Belichick might go, but he's looking at maybe the Jacksonville job. But we'll see. I mean, the end of the season's coming up, and this is what they call Black Friday. So, or Black Monday. It's Black Monday. So we'll see how it goes. So I said I had some Hall of Fame news. Well, the semifinalists have come out, and a few of the semifinalists who are here this year are Luke Kuechly, Steve Smith, Hines Ward, Rodney Harrison, and some other Patriots. So they were named semifinalists for the Hall of Fame this year. Now I hope these Patriot players go into the Hall of Fame. I hope Hines Ward and Steve Smith go in. Luke Kuechly was good back in his career, and he is a Hall of Famer. But we're talking Steve Smith, Hines Ward, all these people that should have been in the Hall of Fame already are just getting there this year. So I say give Luke maybe another year or two, and then he can come in. But congratulations to all the semifinalists. And when we have the finalists named, we'll go through those name by name, and we'll go through everything. All right, so now we're going to move into some Week 12, some Week 11 scores. First off, we had Thursday night Eagles-Commanders. The Eagles defeated the Commanders 26-18 in a shock to me, but they won't, because the Commanders have been good this season. The Lions demolished the Jags 52-6. This is the second week they've done it. The Lions have scored 56 points, so I think the Lions are Super Bowl contenders, y'all. The Rams defeated the Patriots 28-22. The Saints defeated the Browns 35-14. The Colts defeated the Jets 28-27, and that was on a last-second field goal I saw. So, like I said, I think it's time for the Jets to do a whole sweep of everything. What a way for our 50th show for me to say this. The Bills defeated the Chiefs 30-21. The Chiefs are no longer undefeated. And I can't tell you how happy that makes me. I knew weeks ago the Bills were going to do this. I had faith in the Bills. I've always had faith in the Bills. And Josh Allen is a phenomenal quarterback. And it was because of him. Well, it was the Bills team. But the nail in the coffin for the Chiefs, other than the Patrick Mahomes interception, was the Josh Allen 35-yard run for a touchdown. Y'all, that was the game of that was the game of the week, and I knew it would be because they were hyping it like, "Oh, the Chiefs are gonna go in there and just beat the Bills." No, the Bills have always had the Chiefs' number in the regular season. It's the it's the postseason we need to worry about. And that's when the Bills and Chiefs play each other, and the Chiefs have the Bills number then. But let's just be happy with the fact that the Chiefs are no longer undefeated, and that it was the Bills that did it to them. The Chargers defeated the Bengals 34-27 in a heartbreaker. I don't know what happened with the Bengals this season. They're losing all these close games, and they're playing great throughout the season, and then throughout the game, and then they're just crumbling. And I don't know what's going on with them. The Steelers defeated the Ravens 18-16 in a game. I wouldn't even really call it a game. It was more Steelers kicking field goals to win the game. And then the Texans defeated the Cowboys 34-10. Not surprised there. And, I mean, how could you be? surprised. The Cowboys have been nothing but awful this season. So now let's move into some Week 12 predictions. So tonight we have the Steelers at the Browns. I have the Steelers winning this game because Russell Wilson's quarterbacking. He's doing great this season. Boswell is accurate as I'll get out this season. So I've got the Steelers in this game. Vikings Bears. That's gonna be a good one. That's a division game. I have the Vikings in that one. The Lions at the Colts. Do I really have to say? I've got the Lions in that game. Patriots Dolphins. I'm actually going to pull the upset in this one and go for the Patriots. Even though I think the Dolphins, are a more complete team. It's just Tua that's the liability. And why he's still quarterbacking is beyond me. They ought to have him, sitting on the bench or still on IR this season. He shouldn't be, playing for the Dolphins. Sorry, y'all. Cowboys at Commanders. I've got the Commanders in this game. Chiefs at Panthers. I'm picking the Chiefs in this one. It's hard. Because I know it's going to happen. And Taylor Swift is going to be here, and everybody's going to want to see Taylor too. So we'll see. I just don't want the Chiefs to embarrass the Panthers, which I have a feeling that might happen, but we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened, and we could see that Panthers defeat Chiefs, which would be great because the Chiefs are still reeling from the Bills beating them last week. But I've got the Chiefs in that game. Titans at Texans. I have the Texans. The Broncos at the Raiders. I have the Broncos in that game. The Niners and the Packers. I've got the Packers in that game. Even though McCaffrey's back, Kittle's back, all that, I still think the Packers are going to be too. Sorry, y'all, had to yawn again. The Packers are going to be too much for the Niners. So I've got the Packers in that one. Cardinals at Seahawks. This is another division game. I've got the Cardinals, and I should add that Raiders-Broncos game is a division game. Anyway, I've got the Cardinals over the Seahawks. And then we have the Buccaneers at the Giants. I have the Buccaneers in that game. And then Sunday night, we've got the Eagles and the Rams. This one's going to be interesting. The Rams are coming on, y'all. They've got Puka Nacua back. They've got Cooper Kupp back. They've just got Matthew Stafford's playing good right now. So they've got a complete team. But the Eagles are good too. But they're playing in SoFi Stadium. So that's my only hesitation with that. But in the end, I think the Eagles are going to win. And then Monday night, we have the Ravens at the Chargers. This will be the Harbaugh Bowl. Jim Harbaugh versus John Harbaugh. They both have one's got a 7-3 record. The Chargers have that 7-3, and the Ravens have that 7-4 record. I think this is going to be a good game. Jim has really turned around the Chargers, and the Chargers played really good. They've got Herbert. They've got all those good playmakers. So I think this one's going to be a close game. Honestly, I think this is going to be a really close game. And I'm lucky enough to be off work to be able to see this and be able to see the whole game. But in the end, I think the Ravens are going to win. I think Lamar's going to do a lot of running. I think Herbert's going to do a lot of running. But with the addition of Derrick Henry with the Ravens, I think the Ravens are going to prove to step up and win this game. But I think this is going to be a good one because the only full game I'm going to be able to see this Sunday is that Eagles-Rams game because I'm working this weekend. So I'll see the highlights from the other games, but the full game is the Eagles-Rams, and the Ravens-Chargers are the two games I'm going to be able to see. But those are my predictions. What are y'all's predictions? And like I said a few weeks ago, let's drop in the comments what y'all's predictions for this week are. You can go, look at the scores, put them down, and then we can compare how we did. So we will be back next week with some of the predictions and some of the scores. So now we're going to move into the what we're listening to segment and who we're listening to. And who are we listening to this week? We're listening to Skillet. They're a Christian rock band from Memphis, Tennessee. They were formed in 1996. I actually found out about them in 06, around 05, 06, with their Comatose album. And I had my hesitations about them, but the older I've gotten, the more I've liked them. And they're definitely a top group for me now. Would I put them in my top 10? That's what I'm thinking about because I have my top 9. I need a 10th group, and they might be a 10th group. I'm not quite sure. I'm still mulling that one over. But I found out about them in 07, and it took me a long time to get to the point where I really could enjoy their music. Their self-titled debut album came out in 96, 97. They've had 12 studio albums, 71 singles. And now that's something. They've had 12 albums but 71 singles. How is that the case? And that's because they've had multiple singles come off a record. Now there's some albums that I've had, like Nickelback's Dark Horse. Out of I think it's 12 songs on that album, 8 of them were singles. So that's how you rack up the singles when you have little studio albums. So 12 studio albums, 71 singles, that's how that happens. They've had Skillet's had 21 number 1 singles. They've had 24 music videos, 3 greatest hits compilation albums, and 2 live albums. Their new album, Revolution, just came out last month, and it's a really cool cover. I want to cover this before I get into my favorite album from them. It's a picture of a soldier carrying their flag that says Skillet on it, and in the bottom corner of the flag, it's got the Bible verse 1 Corinthians 13:13 on it, which reads, "But now, faith, hope, love abide these 3. But the greatest of these is love." And that's prominent because Jesus does love us. God does love us. Yes, we do sin. We do have, we are sinful creatures. But in the end, God is there. Jesus is there to forgive us from our sins, so that, we can go to heaven and be with him one day. And that's, to me, what that Bible verse, and he loves us no matter what. But my favorite album from them is Awake. It's actually Awake and Alive. No, the name of the album is Awake. Awake and Alive is the single. They would call it the title track. But that's a great album. So if y'all want to go out, listen to that album, I highly recommend it. In fact, that's the song I want you guys to listen to, and what song we're listening to is Awake and Alive. They've got another good one from back in the day. In fact, one of my favorites from back in the day is Open Wounds. And but just go listen. I want you guys to listen to the Awake album, and I want you to listen to some of their music and let me know what you guys think in the comments, because they're a Christian rock band, hard rock band, but they're inspirational, and they have cliches like, all of their later albums all sound alike, and you can hear aspects from all of them, but if you've got a sound that works, keep with that. Keep the same, keep that. You might want to switch it from time to time, but not so drastic that people turn their back on you. So just tweak it. So go out and listen to Skillet. And as a closing, I want to just say that I listened to the new Linkin Park album, and it is really good. The Emily Armstrong is starting to grow on me. I still not crazy about some of the, like, her Scientology and stuff, but nobody's real happy about that. But it's a really good album, and it brings some of the old in. You can still hear some of the old Linkin Park in the new stuff, but it's a really good album, and I really recommend it. I've heard it on Spotify, and it's really good. So go check it out. In fact, out of a 10 rating, I would probably give it I'm going to say a 7. And I'm not giving it any higher. I might give it an 8. Yeah, I would give it an 8, not a 7. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And the only reason those other two are because I'm still not fully sold on Emily Armstrong, but she's really starting to grow on me. So I give it an 8 out of 10. But go check out Skillet. Go listen to the new Linkin Park album, and let me know what you guys think. As always, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And go tell people about Going the Distance. So I want to thank you guys for going the distance with me this week on this 50th episode. Can't believe it's been 50. But let's hope I know we got 50 more in us, and we got more than 50 in us. I know we got more than 50. We got more than 100. We can keep going as long as we can go. So thank you guys again for joining me on episode 50, and I will be back next week. And so you guys have a good weekend, and God bless.